Hey guys, so today I'm reviewing the EV Technology SPF 50 Face Mousse. And I thought I'd do it under the UV light, the application of it. So you're gonna wanna give it a good shake up. And then generally dispense a golf ball size amount, which is for your face and neck, although I'm not very good at covering my neck because it's so sensitive. Give it a little bit of a rub so it gets kind of a liquidy gel texture, and then apply the mousse liberally to your face and neck if your neck isn't ridiculously sensitive. And then at the end of towards the end of the video, I have a picture of myself after wearing it for about 8 hours, how it looks. So, does it look like it covered my face, cameraman?
Your hairline.
I always do a bad job there.
That's better. And your ears, I don't know if that counts.
And today, for a new Patreon, Michelle, I've got a little stuffed animal named Happy, which is actually looks like a little hippo, which the reason I picked it was because recently in Pokemon, they had Slowpoke. He was just featured like yesterday. He was everywhere. Or she, it's a little pink one. Looks kind of like a hippo, but I think hippos are one of the most dangerous animals in the world, aren't they, cameraman?
Yep.
Yeah. Nothing to play around with Happy. Happy will eat you. Okay. And hopefully Happy does not get eaten by Lincoln. Okay, so I thought I'd review this one because I've been testing out recently. Really excited to finally get it. It's not easy to get in the US, so I actually had a few friends because technically you have to buy like 6 bottles, so I actually had a few YouTube friends, Patreons I sent a few bottles to. So I was excited to be able to buy 6 and actually make sure they all got used instead of just buying 6 for myself because I don't know how fast I could finish 6 bottles. But anyway, so I'm excited. Okay, so they call this an anti-aging SPF 50 facial mousse that enhances the skin protective barrier and helps prevent signs of premature aging. Using a combination of patented technology and daily skincare with long-lasting SPF 50 and HEV blue light protection, this insanely moisturizing, softening formula counteracts free radicals, premature aging, and environmental stress. It protects the skin cells from damage caused by sun exposure, helps the skin retain its natural moisture without clogging pores. Allergy-tested formula is suitable for all skin types. Perfect under makeup and after shaving. I will say, before you use this, if you decide to pick it up, do a patch test, because I have talked to a few people that have found themselves very sensitive to it or itchy. I didn't, but just do a patch test. And if you don't know how to do a patch test, you can Google it, but it's usually best to, for 24 hours, place a spot of the product near the skin is very sensitive near the inside of the elbow. Apply it there for 24 hours. Some patch test recommends applying it and then putting a Band-Aid over it too. So just do it because it's better to have an issue on the inner arm than your face. Trust me. And do this, you should be doing it with every product, but especially things like sunscreens, which have a tendency to, some people just react differently to certain filters or different ingredients. So smart to do that. Packaging, no issue with the packaging, although I will say that dispensing the proper amount is a little tricky, so keep that in mind. And I'll show you applying it, but it can be a little tricky, so whatever. In terms of denatured drying types of alcohol, I thought I should mention this because I know somebody will probably ask. Butane is on the ingredient list. Propane is on the ingredient list. Those are propellants. They propel the product out of the can, which is why when you dispense it, you hold it upside down. So the butane and propane do not escape, but they are propellants which propel the product outward. So it's foam, and then any butane that does emit is in an aerosol form and evaporates pretty much immediately. So in terms of fragrance, there's no fragrance ingredients and no real noticeable scent, so no issues with that. Manufacturing location for this one is Sweden, although I do want to talk about some of their marketing of this product because it is a little confusing for some people. So they say, since our products protect your skin against sunburn, they will allow the melanin in your skin to develop into a beautiful tanned color that lasts longer as the formula helps your skin retain its moisture. Why would somebody want tanning on their skin when they're using a sunscreen? it's strange. It's marketing, I guess, apparently where they sell to more often, looking tan is popular. So it's kind of bizarre that they say the sunscreen can be used for safe tanning. And some customers have noticed a little bit of darkening of skin while using this. I didn't have that experience at all. So I thought I should mention it. The tanning market is really true, though, of any sunscreen, because if you're using it and you're laying out in the sun, not reapplying, you will get more melanin production than if you're not specifically laying out in the sun and reapplying and really focusing on using hats and reapplying it and trying to stay out of the sun as much as possible, like not laying at the beach to tan. So it's kind of a marketing thing. It's strange. I don't know why they say that, because a lot of people get confused. So, like, is this formula, like, gonna make me tan? Which is not what I want. So it's strange, but it really is true of any sunscreen, because there is no sunscreen that blocks 100% of UVA, UVB rays 100% of the time. It just doesn't exist. So it's marketing from what I see. Okay, in terms of the SPF, it's 50. According to an email that I saw from one of the brand representatives, the sunscreen is actually tested at SPF 57, so it's great for daily use. They also make SPF 30, different formulas, so they've got a variety of different formulas. 30, then they've got kids version, things like that. When I ordered this and the 30 just to try them both, and I found them both to be pretty similar in terms of use and texture. But you know what? If you have hyperpigmentation issues, use retinoids, use exfoliants, go with the 50. There's nothing wrong with getting a little bit more, although there's diminishing results how much higher you go. So really, use 50, reapply it, wear a hat, stay out of the sun as much as you can. Okay, in terms of the UVA protection, I'm pretty satisfied that this provides pretty darn good UVA protection. It uses newer filters, UVA filters, UVA Plus, avobenzone. They've disclosed that it's PA with 4 pluses after it, which isn't super specific. I mean, a PA with 4 pluses after it isn't like what I would consider like high UVA protection, like compared to some Bioderma sunscreens. Some people have surmised the PPD could be around 30, but they don't disclose that number. But based on the filters, in my experience using it, I am to the belief that this is pretty darn good UVA protection, but I don't have any numbers or tests or anything else. That's just my research, what I've read, and my experience with it. So, okay, in terms of the filters used, and then I'll do a little demo. We've got UVB, UVA2 ray blocker, octocrylene, not blocker, absorbent. Octocrylene. Some people can be very sensitive to it, so that's also why patch test is important. Then for the UVA rays, we've got avobenzone, which isn't my favorite UVA filter, but other filters help stabilize it better. We've got Uvinol A+, which is a really great, strong UVA ray absorber, very photostable, does a great job. We've got Tinsorb S, which is a UVB and UVA ray absorber. Tinsorb S does a great job. Very good filter, typically no white cast or things like that. And then finally we've got a UVB ray absorber, Uvinol T150, very high, photostable, amazing UVB filter. So 5 filters, all organic filters, chemical filters. So, okay. So let's shake it up. I feel like this bottle is emptying slowly, but you know what? Sometimes it's hard to judge how much is really in the bottle and how much isn't. So give it a good shake. So they recommend applying, so you want to dispense it when it is pointed down, shake it up, and there you go. You get the nice whipped foam, and then when you apply it, you want to kind of work with it a little bit so it kind of liquefies a touch, and then smooth it onto skin. And so you see when it's applied, there is no white cast. It applies pretty transparently. There you go. So no white cast at all, which makes it a great option for people with deeper skin tones and for use under makeup. The texture of it, unique kind of foamy texture, unique compared to most other sunscreens. The only other sunscreen I've tried that has kind of similar to this is the Anessa Bubble Sunscreen, which has a bit of a foamy, frothy texture. It's not quite the same as this one, but the texture of this, I find it nice. Some people mention they find it too shiny. I really find it has a slightly radiant finish, but I didn't find it was too shiny or too greasy looking at all. And I didn't find it to be super sticky either. So, and the last time I used it all over my face and arms. So I didn't have any issues at all with the texture. I kind of liked it. It's unique. So then ease of use. So it is kind of unique in the foamy texture. So they recommend using the size of a golf ball for your face and neck. Be sure to play with it a little bit to allow it to liquefy. Shake the bottle, hold it upside down. I recommend applying it over your moisturizer or vitamin C serum. Apply the EV. Give it a few minutes to absorb, and then if you want to apply foundation or a BB cream, then in makeup, do that. They say it should be fully absorbed within 5 to 10 minutes, so just give it a few minutes to soak in and then apply your makeup over it. I found it works very well over moisturizers and under makeup, no issues with pilling, very easy to apply on your arms and things like that. So I found it very easy to use, and I enjoy using it, actually. It's not something I dread using because I just feel like it's not going to have to looking crazy greasy, and it's not going to be super sticky, and it's not going to pill. So it's very easy to use and kind of unique and kind of fun, almost. So, okay, let's talk about antioxidants. There's not a lot. There are a few, though. They've got palmitic acid, which is a hydrating ingredient. We've got sodium palmitoyl proline, which is a skin conditioning and hydrating ingredient. Then we've got water lily flower extract, which is skin conditioning ingredient. It's rich in flavonoids, and it also has skin protecting properties, which makes it a great addition to a sunscreen. Adding in ingredients that are antioxidants and protecting, I'll take it. I'd rather have it in there than not. I mean, then we've got sodium ascorbyl phosphate, which is a vitamin C derivative that has anti-acne and antioxidant properties, although it's more stable than L-ascorbic acid, although there's still not a ton of studies on it. So, there you go. And then finally, vitamin E, which is an antioxidant hydrating ingredient. So, not a crazy list, but there's a few nice things. We've got, 5 additional beneficial ingredients. So, it's better still than a lot of other sunscreens, and I'll take it when I can get it. So, in terms of acneogenic ingredients, personally, I find this to be pretty friendly. I have not had any issues with breakouts using this at all. However, there are a few ingredients for acne-prone skin to be aware of. Stearic acid, palmitic acid, triethylamine, and then dimethicone. So, 4. Depends on just how reactive your skin is, but I didn't have any issues with it. So, and my skin is pretty hardy, but with some sunscreens, my skin just hates them. But this one, it has not had any issues with it at all. So that's awesome. Okay, in terms of animal testing per Evie, this is cruelty-free and vegan. Performance, I've been impressed with this. So I took this out on hang on. So yesterday, a couple friends and I took the boat out for the day. I put this on in the morning, probably around 10. We got on the boat, we started going, and I realized that I had forgotten this at home. So what do? Do you dock the boat again, which is always, I'm getting good at it, finally, but I'm still getting nervous docking it, because I'm just not that good at it, but I'm getting better at it. But we're already out, and so it's like, okay, I'm just going to try and stay out of the sun as much as I can, and go with it from there. I was impressed with it, and we'll show a picture of what it looked like at the end of the day, but I found that this did a pretty good job. The areas I used it on really didn't get red, tan, or freckled. And the areas I used a Neutrogena sunscreen did get red. So, and the Neutrogena sunscreen is like 110 SPF. And those areas did get red. So, don't leave your sunscreen at home, because reapplying it is always the best way to do it. It was a little stressful knowing I didn't have it with me, and I had to solely rely on it. But I thought it did a pretty good job. So, there we go. And by the end of the day, it didn't look too greasy. And I think it did a good job protecting. I can't even imagine if I would have been reapplying every 2 hours. But even without it, it was still pretty impressive. Then we get to the price, and that's the biggest bummer of this whole thing, is in the U.S., it is hard to get. It is pricey. There's only one website that I know of that ships to the U.S., and you have to buy 6 cans of it. And 1 can is not cheap to begin with. However, if you're in other countries, it might be easier to get. Some places in Europe, Maybe other places not so much. So that's the caveat. I didn't even do the normal like price per milliliter because it's ridiculous and you're counting in 6 bottles. So unless you think you're going to go through a lot, or I don't know, planning on selling them or giving them to friends or family, it's expensive. So kind of a bummer. There's only one place that ships. So and I'll link to it below in case you're interested and have 5 friends. So anyway, so with a 15 being a perfect score, I give this one a 13. Only downside is obviously the price, availability, and a few acneogenic ingredients. So I don't know. It's always better to reapply it. That is a big deal. So, but anyway, I've been happy with it. So there we go. I'm interested in from you guys if you've had a chance to check this out yet, and if you have, what your thoughts are. So definitely leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and stay tuned for more tomorrow. Thank you so much.